Milena, I just keep getting invited to these like new special projects, and I don't know if I really want to. Like, why would I learn more from new people? Like, why would I jump into something new? I'm just happy doing the bare minimum, you know?
Let me tell you something. I think you should really go out and try these new things because you could find a new passion and a new community and help uplift you. And that is what we're going to be talking about today on the Principal Choice podcast. We're going to be talking about personal passions and how they can influence your work in a positive way on the Principal Choice podcast today.
Find your purpose.
Find your people.
Find your place.
Welcome back to the Principal Choice podcast. Today we have Eve Clark with us as we discuss the importance of those personal passions and how they can help influence our work in a positive way. Welcome to the Principal Choice podcast. Eve, thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm really excited to get to talk to you, especially as we go over personal passions and how they can positively influence us in work, but also how we can flourish in our personal lives as well. So I'm so thrilled to have you join us here today.
Thank you all for having me. I'm so excited, Eric and Milena. This is awesome. And it's a topic that I don't think is discussed enough. Me and my personal life at work, I'm super happy all the time. That's because the passions that I have in my life, I live them every single day. Speaking of passions, there's 3 different passions. There's a variable passion, there's an accountable passion, and then there's a non-countable passion, which the variable one is the one that you would use in a relationship. And then the non-countable, yeah, that's what it is. Non-countable is just the passion that you have just for life, just for anything. The countable passion, however, is that one that you select, that you really dig into.
Love that. I love that how there's different types of passions there.
Yes.
They go in different ways. They go in different things. The ebb and flow is a little bit different between them.
Definitely.
When it comes to passions and work-life balance, I think that's the first thing we should kind of tackle with this because we're introducing personal passions into the professional life. And one thing that's always really important is that difference between the two. Not letting them bleed in too much, but sometimes you got to let it in some ways. You know, you have to have your limits. But for you, what do you do to find those boundaries between your personal passions and your professional life while still letting them improve or still letting them boost you up, bolster you?
Well, passion makes you a better person. And I have this crazy passion for humanity. I love people. I love being kind. I love to give gifts. I love to create things. And so in my creative life, because I give so much, I like to throw fabulous parties for my friends. So that in itself is so amazing, and it's such a giving of oneself. I learned a new passion by throwing parties, which was how to create these oversized paper flowers. So that was something new that I had learned how to do. To create a Christmas play for somebody. Then in that, I discovered that I could actually write awesome plays. Well, in dealing with people, you learn how to deal with people. My job that I work in my personal life, in my professional life, I work with people every day. So dealing with people in real life teaches you how to deal with people, whether it's over the phone, whether it's in person, because the people that you're working with in your personal life, you wouldn't do anything to offend them. So why would you do anything to offend a customer? Or let's say I work over the phone. And so my thing is, I'm going to give you this happy face over the phone because I'm typically a happy person. Because when I get off that phone, guess what? I'm reading a book, I'm sketching a design, I'm making a flower in a different color, I'm planning somebody's fabulous event, and it allows me to flourish. And the more that I do it, the nicer I become. And I'm so fulfilled in everything that I do. To work is just as fulfilling as my passion, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. That makes a lot of sense. It's kind of like, it's that one saying that a lot of people say or that we hear a lot is, it's not really a job if you're passionate about it.
Absolutely.
It's something that you want to do every day versus a job is, I go, I clock in, I do what I'm supposed to do, and there we are. So,
Absolutely. And I like the fact that you touched base on a couple of different passions that you have that are vastly different, but they still marry each other, right? They still kind of come together.
Yes.
A big one for me is, I think a lot of the times when people hear personal passions, they think of hobbies, and not everybody gets that creative feeling, or they don't feel like they are as creative, so they don't have those outlets. And I feel like that sometimes allows them to feel stifled. But I love that you pointed out planning parties as well. There are other ways of expressing that passion. So how would you help people find their passion so that way they could kind of have this levity from the day-to-day of work life, that balance?
I thought you'd never ask.
I'm there for it. Let's go.
So there's libraries, and in libraries, if you look on a bulletin board, they have tons of different sheets there, like flyers, which have workshops. And it may be something that you've dreamt about or thought about doing from years ago, and then you're like, let me revisit that, what I thought that I couldn't do. Now there's tons of people that are doing exactly what I thought I couldn't do, and they can help me achieve that. And so once you find that, when you find something new, it's a whole other different feeling, because now you have all of this great energy, because you're like, oh, guess what? I'm going to write my first book. They have a book writing workshop over here at the library. Or even going to, I've started a new thing, which is, it starts with a cup. Coffee and Conversations, which I will make a T-shirt, I will hand it to somebody, and I will buy them a cup of coffee. CUP is actually an acronym that I kind of created for my own self for work. Compassion, understanding, and patience. But back to the original question, there's tons of places. You can go sit in a coffee shop. You can meet people there. Barnes and Nobles, the bookstore. I don't know if we can say Barnes and Nobles. I'm sorry. But bookstores, different social groups, online. And there's people there's somebody that's doing what you want to do. I'm taking up a sewing class. Even though I know how to sew, I'm pretty good at it, but I want to meet other people that can sew too. So it starts out, even at work. There's people at work that do what you want to do. There's different groups that you can join at work, different clubs and stuff. So
100%.
Dust off those shoes and those thoughts that you got up in your brain and put them to work. Write everything down, make it plain.
Yeah. I like how you stressed community with that.
Yes.
It makes things a lot easier.
Yes.
There are times where even the extroverted people, they want to do things on their own.
Yes.
And also the introverts, sometimes they should get a little extroverted, because I know for me, sometimes I'm part of that introvert crowd, and you kind of get in that negative mindset sometimes when you're like, oh, I really want to do this, but I don't see anyone else doing it. I don't know how to do it. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do with this. Start asking questions.
Right.
That's one of the easiest ways to kind of find those passions, is through communities, whether it's you just insert yourself in or you do a little research first, whatever you want to do. It kind of depends on what your end of the thing is. This is going to be kind of a little bit of a story. It's kind of a funny one. But one thing that I would always see online was bingo. Go to the bingo hall. Do things like that. It was very nerve-wracking. So me and my girlfriend went, and she was like, oh, I don't want to go by myself. And I was like, all right, I'll go with you. We go once, and it's like, now we got to go back. We can't spend all this money on bingo. But you find that community there where you're like, wow, there's these people here, and you're talking with them, and it's fun, and you're having conversations, and
get you out of the house.
Exactly, get you out of the house, and it's something different rather than, well, I guess I'll stay inside and watch Netflix. Or stay inside and go on my phone and doom scroll. So I was really happy you mentioned community there.
Yes.
For someone who, maybe they know what they're passionate about, but they are struggling getting out of that box. What are ways that you would encourage them to say, let's get out of that box? It's okay. You can go find other people that do this too. You can get out of the house and do this.
Write down everything. If you write something down and you come back and you keep looking at it, eventually those words jump up off that page and they become action. Thoughts are things. All you have to do is put energy into those things and just start doing it. And you can start small. I started doing 20 crunches. I'm like, okay, I really want to get into shape. So at first I did 20, and then I worked myself up to 100 and then to 200. But I started. And now it's become part of my daily routine. So little is much. Little is much. The tiniest bit is still a goal. It's still an increase. It's still an incentive to your life and to what you want to do. Just that tiny little thing will push you to do something great. And another thing is water seeks its own level. What you're looking for is also looking for you. So you will find your people, you will find your thing will find you, and it'll just be great, and you will feel so much better and just so fulfilled. And guess what? It's ageless. It's totally ageless. It does not discriminate. It does not care how pretty you are, how not pretty you are, how big you are, or how small you are. It is just a thing that will happen for you. And the newness of it just feels so great. I cannot even explain it. It's so awesome. It's kind of like finding my husband took me to this restaurant, and I had no idea that food had so many different varieties because I have not been abroad yet. I haven't traveled abroad yet. And so we went to a Brazilian restaurant, and the flavors, I was like, oh, goodness, this is so amazing. It's just like I had a whole party at this restaurant. Now I picture myself in Brazil eating the food, because not only was the food good, the atmosphere was awesome as well. So I didn't go, oh no, try it first. Try a little bit of it. And you never know what you just led on to, like, aha, I think I like that. I think I found something great. It's out there. It's literally everywhere.
And if you don't, then hey, you can at least say you tried it.
Yes,
Absolutely.
you can at least say you tried. I know that I don't like eggplant. I know that because I tried it. And I just, not anything bad against eggplant. It's just not my thing.
Absolutely. I love that too. I think, putting it in those perspectives too, of saying like, you don't have to dive full in.
Right.
You can go into the kiddie pool. It's okay. It's not going to be, it's not going to make or break you. It's just you're seeing how you're feeling. You're getting comfortable and seeing if this is a good fit for you. And if not, you can go, you know what? Maybe not this pool, but that pool over there, the wave one. Right. I'm into the wave pool, not into this lazy river, if you will. I don't know why I'm going into water park references, but here we are. But I really enjoy you also saying that, like, it's okay to kind of try things and realize maybe that's not for me, but I put myself out there. And, when you change and you adapt and you try new things, it is scary, but it's also freeing. And it allows you to see what you could be missing and what you can also obtain if you would like to.
Absolutely.
Like that community, as we spoke about earlier, and those passions where you really want to just continue and see how you can expand upon that.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's kind of where I want to go with this next question I have for you. How would you expand upon your passions to help you feel like you are able to attribute more to those around you at work and at home?
Well, it starts at home. Everything starts at home. If you make home great, and by home I mean your community, we go to every restaurant in the area because we want to contribute to the economy. I had made a shirt. I was like, all these people have Cricut machines. I'm like, I'm going to get a Cricut machine, and I'm going to make some shirts. I'm going to create my own clothing line, which I do have one. And I started making these shirts. Well, guess what? There was a lady that stayed next door to me, and she had a football team of little leaguers. And she asked me how much would I charge her to make the shirts. And so I started making money off of something that I saw somebody else do, but I really love fashion, as you can probably tell. So I started making these shirts for them. And then the next thing you know, when COVID came, I started making masks. Then I started giving masks away, which helped me thrive even more at work, because now you have the concern for the community. And I'm so passionate about a sewing machine and about making things and creating things. A hobby is something that's temporary, that you just do because you can, or maybe because it seems fun, but you're not really passionate about it. It's just something that you just may do. But when you're passionate about something, passion is like the shadow behind love, and it just pushes you forward and it propels you. And I'm so passionate about people. And this, whatever you're doing in your normal life, in your personal life, also becomes part of your work life, because work is a lot of hours that we spend with other people. And when you have such a fulfilling life outside of work, work becomes fulfilling. My job is a whole career that I selected, and people are part of that career. I am a professional kind person, and I like to say that because I'm kind in real life, and it's part of my passion. So when I get to give gifts and give things out, it makes work fun for me. Anybody can do that. If you're at home, even if, let's say you make pies and you're selling pies, but then you make 10 pies because you're so passionate about this, you start giving away free samples to people. And now you're expanding your passion. But then when you come to work, you're giving verbal slices of pie to people every time you're kind and nice. I give verbal cups of coffee to people every single day. And I get a kick out of it because it's totally free. It's a free thing that I get to do because I just love life. I love everything about life, the good, the bad, the ugly, the foreseen, the unseen, the what I can see and what may be to come. It's just amazing and stuff. And I'm passionate about you two. I think you guys are so awesome. And I'm so happy to be here to be able to share this information with people who may be watching and listening. Find something that you like that allows you to be yourself, allows you to make yourself better. Passions actually make you better. They do, because now you begin to love yourself. You love what you can do with your hands and with your mind, the things that you can think about and you can write down. Everything you write down, you can make possible.
Yeah.
I've drawn designs and then I've gotten on the sewing machine, got my scissors and fabric and made a beautiful outfit because of a thought that I had in my mind and stuff. And when I'm talking to people, I feel so accomplished. So when somebody goes, hey, how are you doing today? I hope everything's working good for you. Oh, well, I'm so sad. Well, you know what? You're on this side of the dirt with me. Let's turn that day around. And they're like, I didn't think about that. Yeah, let's think about that. We keep waking up, getting up, showing up. So everything is just great. Passionate about that.
I like that a lot. And I like how you brought that analogy in of, well, if you like, making pies and you start giving out free pies, look at it like that at work.
Yes.
Whether it's your conversations, whether it's you have to send pieces of mail somewhere every day.
Absolutely.
This is a, positive thing. It's sending your,
good
creation,
yes.
your fashion, your whatever.
Absolutely.
Kind of bringing that analogy in, at least for me, I love analogies.
Yes.
That clicks in my head a lot, to where it's, yes, like work is something you do every day, but make sure you're choosing to do it.
Right.
And sometimes it makes it easier if you're saying, well, this work that I'm doing is related to this thing that I love doing every day.
Yes,
so.
absolutely.
And I just want to follow up on that too, because I love it, because you realize too that when you have a passion, a true passion, and it is what drives you, it doesn't matter how you're able to share that with someone, whether it's through the lines at work, being able to uplift them, making sure you are following through, helping find solutions and caring, or, you don't want to do anything to make money off of it. Just using the pie analogy there. It's like, I'm so happy I baked extra, and you don't, here, I'm just giving you one because I'm just so thankful to have you a part of my community, because the community of which you surround yourself with outside of work and at work, your work community, together you strengthen that bond and you share your passions, you're only going to go forward, because we're all there dedicated to uplift each other instead of just having an individual mindset.
Yes.
I love that. I had to get that out there.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And you put it out there very well. I like that. Yes, ma'am. And your work community is your family, because you are around all of these people all of the time. And work in a good company where people love you back. The company that I work for is so awesome. I just keep going. I feel like, wow, like pinch myself sometimes. Is this really my life? And I tell people, I absolutely love my life. They're like, you have bills? I'm like, I can work and pay my bills. But I work at a place where people love me. They understand me. They reward me. They also let me know if I need to straighten up in some areas. Hey, you're slipping over there. Maybe correct this. And there's always a solution if there's an inkling of a problem. They're like, hey, okay, well, you didn't meet that part, but let's try this, or let's try something different. Same thing with your passions. Sometimes something may just be a hobby, or it may be a passion, but if it keeps you up at night, more than likely it's a passion. If you've thought about it more than 2 or 3 times a day, it's probably a passion. If you keep writing it down, looking at it, it's probably a passion. If you're dreaming about it, you know it's a passion. I collected pets as a hobby. It wasn't my passion. I just liked pets. And then one day I just gave them all away to a bunch of the neighborhood children. And they were like, oh, I thought you were passionate about that. I said, no, they were cute and they were on sale, 2 for $1.
Just a cool thing as a hobby to collect.
Absolutely.
I get that. I love that. Yeah.
Finding that balance for
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. And it's so awesome to be able to be kind to people and just be nice to people. Even if they're not so nice, you don't know what they're going through.
100%.
So you may be the one person to make their day or turn everything around in their life at that one moment. I remember one time I had, at my previous employment, and there was a gentleman and he looked so sad. And I was like, you know, everybody deserves kindness. And he just looked so mean and and he was not having a good day. And so when he came back through 2 days later, he said, ma'am, I want to tell you thank you. He said, because you said everyone deserves kindness. He said, that will stick with me for the rest of my life. He said, you are so nice. He said, I don't know where you come from, but I'm grateful for you. I said, the thing about it is I'm grateful for you and everybody on this planet every single day of my life. He was like, wow. And that's just what you get with Eve.
Yeah. It's that little cup.
Yes, that's that cup.
Yep.
Compassion, understanding, and patience. If you have that, it all starts with the cup.
Yeah. Well, Eve, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you coming on. And yeah, I'm going to remember cup for the rest of my life.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. I'm living by it, living and breathing.
Yes, ma'am. And I will be giving them for the rest of my life. Yay.
So, Eric, how do you feel about trying new things now?
Well, I got to say, I am floored. I am jumping into those things. A few things that I'm going to remember is cup. Be compassionate, be understanding, have some patience, and just put yourself out there. Find your passions, show your passions, let it lead you through life. I'm going to have to take it and move on.
Absolutely love that. Passions lead to community for sure. And for more information, check out our show notes below and join us next time on the Principal Choice Podcast.
Find your purpose.
Find your people.
Find your place.